All right. Welcome to the Hip Hop Millennial Podcast. I am Cashews.
And I'm Diamonds.
What's up, y'all?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And today, we're going to discuss what everybody's talking about right now. The Astro World Festival. And, man, this is one of the biggest festivals in hip hop.
Yeah.
And you got to be on another level to have your own festival, man. And I'm thinking this guy, he has like 50,000 people at every show.
At least, yeah.
Going crazy. He has a very loyal fan base, and they show up for him.
It's almost kind of like a cult in a way. The way his fans worship him is kind of strange, in my opinion.
Man, a loyal fan base is what any artist would die to have. You know, fans can be so fickle nowadays, and they don't stick around. They love you when you got a hit, and when you don't, they ain't fucking with you.
I agree with that. As we know, a tragedy, terrible tragedy happened at the Astro World concert.
I'm gonna probably say this is the worst tragedy in hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had this many people die at a show before.
8 killed, hundreds injured, and EMTs had trouble reaching people. It was horrible. They couldn't get through the crowd. People were warning him. They were yelling and saying, somebody's dying. People were standing on top of platforms yelling it, and no one was listening, it seemed like.
I'm thinking people are being real harsh on Travis right now. And I don't think he had so much knowledge of all the chaos that was going on. I would like to believe that if he knew people were dying in the crowd, he would have stopped the show. Because I did see a video of Travis stopping the show, making sure the fan that had fainted or passed out was okay. He was telling the crowd, look, don't touch him, give him some space. He held the song up, held the show up, just to make sure that person was okay.
He did that for him. There was also a clip I saw where backstage people or whoever they were walked up to him, whispered something in his ear. I'm pretty sure it was about what was going on in the crowd, and he just kind of waved him off as well and continued on with what he was doing at the same time.
But since we as the fans or the audience per se, we don't actually know what was spoken to him at that moment. So it's like, I would like to believe that he was not aware.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't, because there's so many people that were there. He was actually caught up in an incident before in one of his past festivals. I don't know if you remember this, but he had told the crowd, oh fuck it, just jump the barricade, come on, and it incited a little riot in his concert. Do you remember that?
I've actually heard about that.
It's almost like he's like known for this stuff kind of happening, I guess. My concern is the people that were sticking people with drugs, how'd they even get in with the drugs? That's the thing about it. Like, why not have extra security at his concerts if you know that's how his concerts go down? Like, I don't.
That's very sad, very horrific. You as a parent, you send your kid out to have fun at a show and they don't make it home. It's almost like the last thing you expect when you going out, you have that excitement, the adrenaline rush of seeing your favorite star in front of you. You think this is going to be the time of your life, and they never knew that this could be their last day.
Yeah.
I mean, the horrific visuals that I have in my head of people getting trampled and not being able to breathe and, fighting for help and not receiving it.
Because the EMTs can't get through. There was, I saw another video where an actual EMT that was at the concert was saying that it was almost impossible to even get to the people that needed help. And there was limited EMT, and it was just so packed that they could barely get through, and people weren't letting them get through. They were getting pushed, they were getting pulled in different directions, but they could hear the screams of the people that needed it. Man, it was horrible.
I saw a video come up on my timeline. It was a woman running up to the cameraman, yelling to him. She was screaming that people are dying, and he wasn't really responding in a way that would make you think that he cared. But I'm thinking he's doing a job and maybe he doesn't believe her. Or he's like, what can I do? I'm the cameraman. Do I stop shooting and doing my job to get help? How can I get help? Who do I go to? Are they even close to where I am right now?
Or if I go help them, will the same thing happen to me? It's a lot of worries that can
Yes.
cross your mind.
I heard it was only maybe it was some cops
Yeah.
in the building and it wasn't nearly enough cops there to keep the crowd in check. And then I saw footage of cops recorded the show.
Terrible.
It's a lot of terrible things, man. It's a sad situation all around, and I definitely send condolences to all of the lost ones and all of the people who have to grieve their loved ones. This is just absolutely terrible.
Based on the alleged lawsuits, I say alleged because we don't know everything about the case. I'm pretty sure stuff is pending. We're
I
not
heard the
trying to get
numbers are
sued.
in the hundreds.
But allegedly, I'm just gonna keep that word out there. Do you think that the lawsuits are just for him, or do you think he shouldn't be like sued at all?
I think Travis should take responsibility for the lives that were lost. And by that, I mean at least take care of the family, funeral costs. He does have a tendency to rile the crowd up in a way that makes people act violent or wild. I'm not saying that's a bad thing,
Here's my
but
thing about celebrities, real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's like they have to realize that when they get to a certain level of stardom, they really do have the power over their fans, if that makes sense. They can tell their fans, oh, come on up here, and they'll get a whole wave rushing toward them. Like they can say jump up and down, they'll do it. They can say wave your hands, they'll do it. Just the simple commands that they tell their fans to do, they do anything
MC
that they
means move the
ask.
crowd.
Yes. And I think celebrities need to take more caution in knowing that they have that power, especially in big crowds like that. They should really use that for better outcomes in their concerts, honestly, in my opinion. They have way too much power over their fan bases. It's almost scary.
I think that these lawsuits are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Who is responsible in this situation? Is it the security? Is it Travis? Is it the promoter? Whose fault is it? And right now, it's a lot of finger pointing, and I see Travis taking a lot of flack. What do you think about his response video? Did you see that?
I think he was coached, and I think his publicist was
Oh
just to get on there
man,
and say this,
that
and
was the
just to
most
save yourself.
disingenuous.
Get in there, save yourself real quick. Go say this. You know, we got to cover ourselves.
I'm not really a big fan or follower of Travis Scott and his movement, but I know that was some of the worst acting that I've ever seen. He was,
Worse than the baby.
oh man, he was rubbing his face. That was the worst attempt at concern I've ever seen in my life. He would have been better off typing up a letter or getting his publicist to say something on his behalf. That was horrible. And I think the Kardashians and people close to him, they recognize how horrible his attempt at genuine concern was, and they came with their responses to make it look a little bit better, just to play cleanup. It looked like to me. I would have been more satisfied with him not saying anything until he had a genuine response. I saw Drake speak up. I saw Roddy Ricch
People are
offer to,
coming at Drake. They're
yeah,
actually jumping and coming at Drake, saying Drake getting lawsuits and
yeah, I
stuff.
saw
That's
Roddy
crazy.
Ricch offer to pay for the
Lord.
funeral costs for the families,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a noble act. But at this time, I think Travis has to step in front of this and handle it.
I don't think Travis cares. Like, I think Travis one of them artists that honestly is, I just think he likes the chaos. That's just my opinion. I think he cares about the people that die. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure he's, sad at the misfortune of them. But I think he's also was excited about the hype of how hype it was at the end of the day. Like something deep down in him, I believe he likes that kind of riot, chaos, that kind of fiery
Of course,
fan
of course,
mentality. That's what he likes.
of
So
course.
that's why it
But
came off
nobody
so
wants to lose
ingenuine.
life. He doesn't want people to die at his shows.
Yeah.
I remember he had a picture on his Instagram of a guy who was passed out from basically getting knocked out at one of his shows, and recently that photo was removed, I think that was a good idea to do at this time.
Yeah.
Um, I've always seen my favorite artists hype the crowd up, and in rock concerts they have mosh pits, but nobody, people don't die, man.
His shows are known to get a little crazy, but
Yes,
that
definitely.
the drug thing and the trampling,
8 deaths at a concert is ridiculous.
it is.
It's insane. Like, one life is too many, but to actually lose 8 lives during a show
And just
where
go off to regular recreational activity that normal people do. It's a concert. It's like going to the movies, going to a concert. You don't think you're gonna die when you go to something like that.
I heard it was thousands of people in that festival, and to lose 8 out of thousands is just ridiculous. It's so many
Not to
lives, man.
mention the hundreds that were injured on top of that. So that is crazy.
Wow, concert.
Yeah.
Going forward, how do you think Travis shows will go? How does Travis Scott move forward in his career? Is it like a black cloud over Astrofest now?
Yes. Honestly, I think it is. Anything that involves death or people dying is going to be a black cloud around it. I think when he tries to bring it back, or if he even does, that people are going to look back and remember this, and they're going to be like, hold on, like, should I go? Should I not go? And also, I think he's going to have triple security, or maybe people won't even be allowed to stand up in a atmosphere like that anymore. Like, maybe it might be seats from then on, like, or definitely more EMTs will probably be there if he's even allowed to throw another Astro World Fest again. But it's definitely a black cloud in my opinion.
Reports come back that one of the concert goers, can't remember the person's name, but she was brain dead and pronounced dead yesterday. So that was bringing the total death count to 9. And her family was speaking out, and it was just hard to watch because I wouldn't know what to do if I sent my child to a concert or heard that they were attending a concert and that was the end of their life. Lost life is always sad, but when it comes to enjoying yourself and being in an atmosphere where you think that you're having fun with people who have a common interest, and that's the artist performing, you never expect to lose your life. And my condolences go out to each and every family that has to deal with this loss right now.
Yes.
And hopefully, in the future, performers will be more aware of what's going on in their show atmosphere and be as safe as possible.
I agree.
Yeah, man. RIP to all those victims, man.
And if you could say something to him right now, what would you say?
Be careful when it comes to the control that you have. People are ready to get hype, and most of the time people at concerts are intoxicated and ready to take ready to take things to that level. So knowing that you have that power and you're controlling that crowd, I don't think making them act violent is the smartest thing to do.